Good morning everyone and welcome to a brand new weekly vlog. My name is Astrid and I normally don't really look like this. Actually I suppose normally I do, but not normally when I'm online. And since the beginning of this year I vlog every single week of my life, so this is week number 14. And if you couldn't tell by the sort of general state of me, I've got a serious glow up happening right now. I'm marinating in fake tan. This has been on for like 2-3 hours now. I'm about to wash it off, but first I'm gonna dye my hair. We went for a really long walk yesterday because Charlie and I have set ourselves a challenge of doing 10,000 steps a day. Every day between now and when we go to Florida in a few weeks time, will I go first. And then he's coming out after. I left my hair in the plaits overnight. But yeah, so basically we went for a really long walk, which was lovely. And actually we're not doing necessarily 10,000 a day, but we're doing 70,000 a week, just because I feel like committing to 10,000 a day would be setting myself up for failure, because like some days, like yesterday we did 15,000 steps. But today I've got a lot of work to do and I'm going to the theatre tonight, so I know that I'm not going to necessarily have time. I am going to get off the tube like a couple of stops early or something to try and work it in that way, but because I've got evening plans, I just feel like 10,000 is unrealistic without getting in the way of like my work week. Hello.
I agree.
So yeah, I'm just about to start dyeing my hair. This is what I use. It's the... You alright?
Sorry.
Are you brushing your teeth now?
No, I'll go in the other room. No, I'm actually gonna...
Can I just dye my hair first? And then you can do it in here.
No, I need to do them now.
Why?
Because it's a time. I'm not telling you because you lot will think that I'm being a skanky bitch.
Hello, my darling.
Hi, Grandad, you alright? Sorry, my granddad called, so I cut the camera off. But yeah, this is what I use, the Clairol Nice and Easy Creme. And I kind of, to be honest, I just pick a shade depending on my mood. But today I've gone for number 4, dark brown. I pretty much just do it to get rid of the greys, but also I do quite like that it gives your hair like a much richer colour than my hair naturally has, with like nicer undertones, because my hair naturally is a good shade of brown. I quite like the colour of my natural hair, but it's got quite a grey undertone, so I don't want to change it too much, but I do like it, particularly in the summer when the sun's shining on it, to have a little bit of a warmer undertone than my hair naturally has. I don't dye the whole head like this very often, to be honest. Usually I just use a root touch-up thing for my greys, but I went to buy that the other day and I thought, actually I've not dyed my hair in a while, so like I said, I'm going away in a few weeks. This should last up to 8 weeks. And I don't wash my hair very often. I only wash my hair like once every 5-ish days, so I do find it lasts quite well. Whereas the root touch-up stuff only lasts about 3 weeks, so it needs doing a lot more regularly. But I've never dyed my hair while I've had fake tan on, so this is definitely going to be interesting, washing everything off at once. Okay, so taking the lid off this, and this is the dye. It's so weird how the two products are, they're both white, but then when they mix together it makes like a really dark brown. It's crazy. And that is science. I have actually done quite a few ads with Clairol before, and that was actually the first time I ever dyed my hair, was for a Clairol ad, and I've done several with them since, but it is literally the only hair dye I buy now because I feel really confident with it and I know that it works really well. Now I'm going to remove the gloves and wait out my 20 minutes. Here we go. I must look very different from the last time you saw me, but most of my plans for today got completely derailed, which is so annoying, just by like deliveries that I needed for work bits that didn't turn up, and just like, you know, when like little things all go wrong at once and you just feel like the world's against you. My day's been very that, but I'm not gonna let it spoil my evening, because tonight I'm out in Wimbledon. I'm gonna meet Jess and we're going to the theatre. When will I learn to carry an umbrella?
Oh, I don't know, because I managed it.
Yeah, I can't be bothered to carry one if I'm not going to use it, so I just don't bring one, ever.
But then you end up in a vest with a leather jacket over your head.
Yeah, it's quite a conundrum really. This is a situation I find myself in all too often. Here we are at the new Wimbledon Theatre, and we're here tonight to see An Officer and a Gentleman,
which I know absolutely nothing about.
Me neither, absolutely nothing. Literally all I know about this is that it is a new musical based on an old film. I think it's like a romance film. Yeah. And I've realised, based on the posters, for some reason, and this is like my internalised sexism coming through, I assumed that an officer and a gentleman were both men. But on the poster, it is a man and a woman.
Oh.
And maybe the officer is a woman.
Essentially, because she's not the gentleman.
And that's interesting, because it's just like internal bias, isn't it?
Yeah, that the officer would also be a man.
Yeah, interesting. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with this theatre so far because they sold popcorn, and I think more theatres should sell popcorn.
And also Pepsi Max instead of Diet Coke, which I respect.
But yeah, I do think more theatres should sell popcorn, and specifically popcorn in buckets rather than packets.
Because it does taste very different.
And also because packets are noisy, and you don't want noise in the theatre. And they even had crisps in like bucket form rather than packet form. I really respect that.
10 out of 10.
Never seen that before.
I haven't either.
Very
Let's
impressed.
just top of Pringles.
Anyway, should we go and watch this show then?
Yeah, I think we should.
Now that was interesting.
Something I did learn is that it wasn't an officer and a gentleman, they were the same person.
Oh yeah, the officer is the gentleman.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Is he? He was by the end, but
Yeah.
by the end were they actually two separate people?
No.
Was one of them an officer and one of them a gentleman?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm not convinced.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
I'm convinced it wasn't two people. The woman wasn't the officer, she was in the factory. And the men did it all.
Yeah, I will say that show was very. The women had absolutely no substance whatsoever beyond I want to marry a man. That was it. It was like an 80s jukebox musical, so there were a lot of like 80s bangers. Some of those were good fun. They did feel a little bit random at points.
I will say I'm not the biggest fan of a jukebox musical full stop because of that reason.
Me
Because I
neither.
often think when you're watching it, you go, why is this song suddenly playing?
Yeah, I like musicals when the songs have been written specifically for the story and not when they've been like shoehorned into the story.
My only exception for that is Mamma Mia, because that's technically a jukebox, but it makes a bit more sense.
I will give you that. It had Grease vibes, and a lot of people in the audience who were like slightly older and maybe remembered the 80s and maybe remembered the original film as well, that might have been part of it, seemed to be really enjoying it. For me, it was a fun evening out, and the performers were incredible. Like some of their voices were mental, like so good. But
the story just needed a little bit more.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Yeah, the story itself wasn't particularly like gripping, and then because the music wasn't original music, it didn't really carry it either. But a nice little evening.
I'd never say no to the theatre, so
No. Good morning. Oh my god, I clearly did not do a very good job of taking my makeup off last night. We are kicking off the day with a Girlies IRL call. Oh my god, there's makeup all over my face. I'm actually wearing my Girlies IRL t-shirt, but only because it was like the first white t-shirt I happened to grab. The good thing about running a company with your best friends is that you can turn up on a call looking like this and no one really bats an eyelid, and then you can do your hair while you're talking about work stuff. And that's just like fine and socially acceptable. We're all doing either breakfast or hair. Do you know what I think is the best thing I've ever done? A few weeks ago when we went to Costco, we bought, how many was it? 30.
I don't know, way too many I think.
Frozen croissants.
Croissant?
Croissant?
Yeah, the way that you...
Croissant.
No, it's the way that you pronounce it.
Croissant?
Croissant!
Croissant.
A la croissants!
How would you say it? It really stresses me out.
Croissant.
Oh, but it's so icky.
Croissant. Un croissant, s'il vous plaît. Anyway, for more important, look at my top.
Whose top toy?
My top. Because she was going to sell this on Vinted and I saw it and I went, no you're not.
I do really like it, but it's not the right colour for my skin tone. Excuse me. Yeah, basically we bought these in Costco. What are you doing?
2 for me, 1 for you.
Why was you going to do 1.5?
No.
Yeah.
No. That's not how it works. Croissant?
Ugh.
Croissant. Croissant!
Croissant.
Croissant, s'il vous plaît!
But basically, because they're like frozen
In time.
dough. Is it dough?
Must
Yeah,
be.
I guess.
Dough.
They taste like really, really freshly baked. And it's so good. This was like my favourite sleepover breakfast when I was a kid. Just with butter on the plate and jam on the plate. And then I like spread it over each bite of the French pastry that shall not be named. And it's fantastic. What's
Croissant.
That? Oh, the Tonys from last week's. Like,
Yeah, everything bar.
Yeah.
Can I have some more jam? Because last time I had jam, like I didn't have enough jam, and I thought...
You have so much jam on your toast and stuff. Like, I have like a tiny slither, and Charlie has half a jar.
That's a bit extreme.
Anyway.
Do you want a fork? No, knife.
This is a 10 out of 10 breakfast if you ask me. Yes, please. I have barely filmed anything today. I've just been like chained to my desk doing emails. But I do think that's most of my admin done for the week, because for the rest of this week, I'd really like to try and crack on with some of the decluttering stuff. I've got a few vintage parcels that I need to package up now. So I'm going to do that to get that out of the office, and then I need to do a big clean of my desk. And then Charlie surprised me with some theatre tickets for tonight, so I'm actually going to theatre for the second night in a row. But this show, I'm very excited to see actually, because it has won loads of awards, and I've heard pretty much exclusively fantastic things about it. So we've got about an hour left of the day before it's time to go out, and I'm going to push through and try and stand up and do some things that aren't emails. It's the end of the work day, and we are all dressed and ready to go out.
Let's go.
Let's go. We are here to see Standing at the Sky's Edge. I'm so excited. I actually really know nothing about what this show is about at all, but it's won Best Musical and something else, and I've heard very good things about it, so I am really looking forward to it. Charlie's preoccupied because he's got a bag of munchies.
I need to get these open before it starts, because I made the mistake of not opening it before it starts and then being that person trying to ruffle around.
You don't want to be that person. That show was so good. I actually can't stop crying. It's quite embarrassing, but it was definitely the best show I've seen so far this year. I've seen quite a lot of shows already this year, but this, oh my god, it was so good. I was really enjoying Act 1, but Act 2 was so like powerful. Oh my god, it's fantastic. If you get the chance to see Standing at the Sky's Edge, you have to see it. It was so like emotional. That was a very unexpected way to spend my Wednesday evening, but my god, it was so, I can't get over how good that was. Good afternoon everyone. I've completely missed the morning. I have been working, but sort of mostly from bed, but I've got myself all ready and I'm about to embark on an absolute declutter mission. So far there are 21 items left on the declutter wheel, and actually I have identified a couple of areas that aren't on the wheel but could really do with some work. I've got a couple of lockers in the other room. I don't know if you've seen them. There's like a yellow one and a blue one. They both could do with a declutter, but when I first made the wheel they were like near enough brand new, so they didn't need to be on it yet. My medicine box from the top of the kitchen cabinets, that needs to be put on the wheel, and I'm sure there's going to be a few other bits, but I am 34, I think, declutters through my declutter wheel. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a series on TikTok that's like, I think the most popular thing I do on social media now, where basically I have like a spinny wheel, and every cupboard and drawer in my flat is on the wheel, and the wheel spins and it tells me what to declutter, and it's been really helping me get rid of loads of my stuff. So I'm gonna do some of those today. Well, that was the plan, but then basically I've just spun the wheel and it's come up with doing
Every
my
cupboard
skirts.
drawer in my flat is on this wheel. Let me see what I'm going to declutter next.
Yeah, that's the beginning of every video, and I feel like I say it in my sleep at this point. But so what's come up on the wheel for today is the skirts. So I think I'm going to do the skirts first, and then I'm going to see it as a bit of a Kickstarter to do the wardrobe changeover for me between winter and summer, because even though it's not really sunny enough to do mostly summer clothes at the moment, I think it's sunny enough to start making the transition as long as I leave a few jumpers in. And I don't know if I've mentioned, going to Florida soon, so I do need to sort through my summer clothes for that. So we're gonna see how far we can get, but today's a big declutter day. This is the current state of my skirts. Please God, wish me luck. I do not want to do this. This is the current state of affairs. Actually, all of the skirts that I'm keeping are inside the wardrobe with no hangers on. I've just ordered a load of new hangers because my hanger situation is an absolute mess, but it's Charlie's lunch break from work now, so I'm gonna take a minute to step away from it, go and pick up the hangers from Argos, go for a little walk outside, and return feeling ready to tackle it, because I now need to try on every skirt I own, which just sounds quite painful, to be honest. What are you doing?
I had dirt on my new trainers.
Is that a brush?
Yeah. But what I thought I would do is, I see a lot of people on TikTok and these shoe care specialists or whatever they're called go, you should never use water with your shoes, as in to get off dirt. So I was like, okay sir, or madam, or whatever your pronouns are, I will use a brush. So then I'm using a brush now. Fashion king.
Fashion king. We have walked to a Joe and the Juice to grab some lunch. Joe and the Juice sandwiches, I know they look dry and horrible. Trust, they put crack in them, I think. I actually think it's the pesto. I'm obsessed with Joe and the Juice sandwiches, and this is a hell of a nerve juice, which is the only juice I can drink in here because it doesn't have apples in and I'm allergic to apples, but I love it so much. Joe and the Juice. If I were to move out of London, Joe and the Juice is one of the things I would miss the most. Part 1 of that declutter is done. I've never actually split a declutter into 2 parts, but basically these are all the skirts and shorts, and I didn't actually even get around to trying any of them on because there was so much other crap in the cupboard. So I've sorted through that stuff. I've ordered myself nearly £50 worth of coat hangers, and phase 2 is trying on all of these skirts before the coat hangers arrive. Well, I can go and collect them from Argos in the morning.
Must be in my coat or my ripped jeans.
Charlie ripped his jeans on a fun fair the other day. It was very funny.
It's so funny.
I also did a very spectacular fall just moments before Charlie ripped his jeans. I will insert a video here. But yeah, I've just finished doing my skirt declutter. It was very successful actually. I got them down from 45 to 27, which I am seeing as a really big success.
Looks like.
But it did mean I have just tried on 45 skirts / pairs of shorts. So I'm very hungry. So we're gonna go out to Harvester. Are you hungry by any chance? The way he is devouring this is like nothing I've ever seen. Guys, we were supposed to be going to Costco this evening, and also I was going to do more of my wardrobe, but I've got such a bad migraine that I can barely even speak in full sentences.
Smosmas. She tried to say that she's a boss bitch and she went on Smosmas.
So I'm going to go and rot on the sofa instead. See you tomorrow. Hopefully when I feel a bit more like my brain is in my skull. I'm sure you'll all be thrilled to know that I'm feeling much better this morning. I've got a lot more of the wardrobe to do. I need to clean the office, and then we're going to Charlie's family home for the weekend. So a lot to do today. But first of all, I've got quite a few errands to run. So I should probably put some trousers on or something. I have just put on this top that was my absolute favourite top that I got last year, but I got it right at the end of summer, so it wasn't warm enough to wear it for very long, so very excited that it's back in action, etc. I haven't put any makeup on yet. I'm gonna do that when I get back, but I always think when I want to feel a little bit more put together, a little bit of jewellery and some perfume, it just goes a long way, doesn't it? This is Paco Rabanne Fame, and I just love the bottle, to be honest. Errands completed. I've just put loads of vintage stuff in the impo sockers. Impo sockers are so fantastic. The fact that you can just post stuff out and you don't even have to speak to anyone is absolutely amazing. And then I went to Argos. I feel like I heard loads about Argos when I was younger. Like Argos was a very regular occurrence for me as a kid, but no one really talks about it anymore. I think it's probably because it's since like Amazon came along. I just think Argos is so convenient, like being able to just order something online and then go and pick it up from store. And you don't have to worry about that if they've got it in stock, and they stock like everything. This isn't an ad for Argos, but I kind of wish it was. I'm a big Argos advocate actually, you know. Who wants an errands haul? This is a massive silver bag that I got. It's so obnoxious, but Max sent me a PR parcel in it once, and it's so big that it's so handy. I put all my vintage parcels in it. Got some chicken gyoza for lunch. We're gonna have those with some noodles. 4 packs of 10 coat hangers. Guess how much those coat hangers cost me for 40 coat hangers? £48. I do feel like that was a bit of a rip-off, but genuinely that was the cheapest I could find, because I needed the ones with the clips, and I wanted them to be like sturdy and wooden so they would last. Then I got these 2 things for keeping the toilets fresh and clean, and then I got, well, a pink Lucozade for me and an original Lucozade for Charlie, and a mint chocolate orange, because chocolate oranges are for life, not just for Christmas. Also, I got a PR parcel the other day from Boots, because they now stock milk makeup. I thought maybe we would have a little look at what they sent through. So there's a milk makeup hydro grip set and refresh spray. I don't really use setting sprays because I've always thought they were a bit of a myth, but when I said that around my friends recently, they said I was very wrong. Ooh, that looks fun. I like the colour of that. Then I've got the primer. I actually might use this today. We could give it a go. This is called the Grip Primer. It looks so cool. And then, what's this? A mascara. I don't know if it's focusing on that, but that does actually look very good. Interesting. I've quite recently started a new mascara, so I'm not going to start that one yet. But then what I am really interested in is these little lip and cheek like balm stick things. I love a makeup product that is like multifunctional, because I just can't be bothered to carry so much around. Very dark though. I might try it and see how it actually looks on my skin, or they might have sent through some other colours actually. Let's see. This one, lit. Highlighter. I've actually needed a new highlighter. That looks lovely. It's just like a champagne-y highlighter. Oh, and there's another highlighter shade here called Flash as well. That looks like it might be better for deeper skin tones, so I probably wouldn't use that as a highlighter, but I could maybe use it as an eyeshadow. It's a stunning like bronze colour though. Oh, another colour of the lip and cheek. This one is called Work with an E. Oh, yeah, I love that colour. That's stunning. Okay, I'm gonna try some of these right now while I'm doing my makeup. And then the last thing is a lip oil, which looks sensational actually. Pop a little bit of Odyssey lip oil over the top of one of those balms. Stunning. All right, let's try it then. I'm really going through an orange and mango phase. Although we bought some orange and mango juice, and Charlie has actually, I've discovered this morning, drunk most of the carton out of the fridge, just standing by the fridge drinking out of the carton. What an animal. Anyway, let's try some of this Milk Grip Primer.
What?
What?
Saying that I drink out of the carton?
Yeah, you're an animal.
I would say this is slander.
Is it?
Because where's the video proof? Where's the photo proof? Exactly, you have none. Case dismissed.
Ooh, it's a lot like more lightweight than I thought it was gonna be. I really like the feeling of this actually. I feel like it's been ages since I've tried a new makeup product. I never know if you're meant to give primer a minute to like sit, but I'm gonna give it a minute to sit. This makeup bag is honestly so disgusting. I really need to clean it out, but if I'm honest, the reason I haven't is because I'm waiting for it to come up on my declutter wheel, and that is my toxic trait at the moment. Everything is horrendous because none of it's come up on the wheel. But the stuff that has come up on the wheel is stunning. And I'm so pleased with my skirts, the progress I made on my skirts yesterday. Charged. I fake tanned earlier this week, so my neck is a completely different colour to my face. so please excuse the really dodgy colour matching that's about to happen. Don't want to put loads of makeup on today because speed is key. I've got lots to do. So actually products like those where it's like multiple products in one are so helpful. I really thought that I was going to be able to do like a whole wardrobe declutter and sort out yesterday, and instead just the skirts took me like 3 hours. And I still need to get all my summer clothes out of storage and go through all of those as well. Like, I forgot that the last time I did a big wardrobe clear out, it was during lockdown, and it took me genuinely 3 days. And I would like to think that I am more talented at that stuff now because of all of the declutters and stuff. Like, obviously I've got a lot more practice, but it is the kind of thing that always just takes so much longer than you think it's going to. Actually, everything takes me longer than I think it's going to. My like concept of how long things take is always wildly skewed. My hair takes probably about 25 minutes in the morning, and like I know that of this hair. Obviously it depends what I do to it, but if I'm just doing like a quick straightener curl or straighten, it takes like 20 to 25 minutes. When I had extensions, I also thought that that took 20 to 25 minutes. It definitely didn't. Like when I had extensions, my hair would take me genuinely like 45 minutes a day, which is one of the reasons why I got rid of them. But I do really miss them. I've been thinking about them a lot lately. I think it's as I come up to summer, like having the long hair just gave me a lot more confidence to wear different things. Like different styles suit me when I've got longer hair versus shorter hair. So this summer when I've been thinking about like what clothes I'm taking to Florida and stuff, I feel quite at a loss, because normally I would kind of look to the previous couple of summers to help me work out like what I'm likely to want to wear this year. Because the last couple of summers I had like hair down to my waist, I looked completely different. Proportionally, I feel completely different. Like I haven't actually put weight on, I don't think, since this time last year. All my clothes still fit, etc. But because I've got like less volume up here, I'm struggling a bit with body image because I feel like my proportions are off, but it is just the extensions, even though I haven't had extensions for like 6 months now. Okay, let's move on to these balms. I can't decide between the lighter one and the darker one. I'm kind of intrigued by the darker one, but I know that ultimately today I'll definitely want to wear the lighter one. I like to wear like plum coloured blush in the winter. These look very pigmented. Oh, actually no, that's the darker one. They are quite sheer, but that's not the right tone for what I want today, so I'm going to wear the other one today. Oh my god, I've just like, that's heartbreaking. I've just put my thumb straight through it. Right, what do I do? Should I do, where's my blush brush? Oh, it's it. Should I do cheeks first? Oh, that's my fault because that's where I scratched it. Okay, well let's just try and blend it out, I guess, and see what happens. Oh, they're much more sheer than I thought they would be, but actually I quite like that because it makes them a lot more buildable. Okay, I really like that. Let's try it on the lips. It's got a bit of a funny like taste to it that isn't very lipsticky, but aside from that, I do think it's a very pretty colour. Now I never know what to do because I've heard that you're not supposed to put cream product on top of powder, so I've not got any powder on at the moment, but obviously with highlighter, if you powder over highlighter, does it just take away the shimmer? I don't know. So I'm going to put some highlighter on now and then we can powder over it and see. Okay, sort of do, oh, I like that. It's not like sparkly, it's just very like dewy. That is stunning actually. Yeah, okay. And actually the fact that they're in the like stick form really speeds up the application process, I think. By the way, I literally use the cheapest powder going and I've had it for so long. This is from Revolution. It's just this loose powder. As you can see, I've not even used half of it. I've had it for 2 years maybe, but because you pour it out, it's quite hygienic. Like you don't stick a brush in it or anything. Genuinely, it's such a good powder. It's so like finely milled and just goes over everything so well. I don't think I'll ever spend more money than that on powder ever again. Now I want to try the darker shade of the highlighter. In fact, I might just swatch it first. That is way too dark of a highlight shade for me, but it would be a stunning like bronze eyeshadow, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I actually need to put some powder on my eyelids because my foundation is already creasing. And normally I use powder eyeshadow, so it's a really weird like sensation to just be putting like a stick on my eyelids. Look, I think that is a really nice like wash of colour. I'm just gonna pat some loose powder over it with my finger just to kind of try and secure it in place a little bit. I don't have particularly oily skin, but I do feel like things just sort of fall off my face if I don't powder them on properly. I've just done my eyeliner off camera, and also I did add some powder to my eyelids, like some bronzer that I sometimes use as eyeshadow, because they were just looking a bit too slippery for my liking. I'm so tired today, guys. I had a terrible night's sleep last night, which is quite rare for me. I fall asleep actually way too quickly. I literally fall asleep within about 30 seconds, and apparently that's like really not good for you, and a lot of people say it's like a sign of like very bad mental health or trauma or something. I don't really know. But I fall asleep very, very fast, and I stay asleep. I would sleep through anything. Thunderstorms, dogs barking. I sleep like an absolute log most of the time. But last night, I just could not stay asleep. I'm trying out the Benefit Bad Gal Bang mascara at the moment, and actually I'm not that impressed with it. I find it really clumpy. But at like 3 o'clock this morning, I woke up and I was like, oh my god, I'm so warm. So I thought the window was closed, which it wasn't. It was open anyway, but so I opened it some more. And then as I was lying in bed, I kept thinking I could hear someone outside the window rustling, which doesn't make any sense because I live very far off the ground. Like, there was absolutely no one outside my bedroom window. But when I was like half asleep, I could really hear like rustling, and I kept like shock waking myself up because I was convinced that there was someone outside my window rustling a packet of crisps, which they absolutely weren't. But when I woke up this morning and looked out of the window, it's because there was a bin bag outside. So I think that must have been the rustling. But yeah. Anyway, right. Makeup's done. Time to finish the skirts TikTok. I can't believe that I am finally going to find out whether everyone that was screaming at me in my TikTok comments about not having matching hangers was actually onto something, or whether I just spent 48 Great British pounds on 40 coat hangers for no good reason. They're very nice coat hangers actually, they're very sturdy. They're just Sainsbury's own brand, I think. Does Sainsbury's own Argos? I feel like they must do. I've actually got a question for you guys about tracksuits. Basically, all of my tracksuit bottoms are super old, and a lot of them have like paint on them that won't come out, and like, you know when the drawstring kind of comes out, like, so where you can like pull the drawstring, there's only one of them, and the other bit of the drawstring is so far deep that I cannot get it out. Like, normally I'm quite good at doing that on hoodies and stuff, but for some reason on this pair of joggers I just cannot get it. So I'm thinking of getting rid of all the pairs of joggers that I have and just buying one or maybe two, just in case one's in the wash, but like a very solid pair of joggers. And I would ideally like a matching hoodie, and I've been thinking about whether I want a hoodie with a zip or like just one that you pull over your head. I want to be able to wear it on flights and stuff. On flights I feel like you want a lot of layers, so actually sometimes a zip up hoodie is better, but also I'm less likely to wear a zip up hoodie not as part of the tracksuit, whereas if I just had like a hoodie to put over my head. The hoodie that I've had for years that is like my comfort hoodie, it was from Goose and Gander, and it's like a white hoodie. It's gone really, like, it's not very white anymore. It looks really naff. Like, it used to look very smart and I loved wearing it, but now like it's very much a house hoodie. I am definitely in the market for a new hoodie that's not a zip up, but I just don't really know where the best place to buy that stuff is. Like, I don't buy activewear or like athleisure clothing very often. I see a lot of the cool kids wearing White Fox. I don't know what White Fox's sizing is like, but yeah, if anyone has any recommendations for tracksuits, effectively, I'd quite like one that's a nice colour, like maybe a lilac or a nice shade of blue, like maybe this kind of blue, or maybe slightly lighter than that or something. Yeah, I am all ears. And I know it seems really counterintuitive, like thinking about buying a new tracksuit when I'm trying to get rid of loads of stuff, but I would be getting rid of 4 probably pairs of joggers, at least 3 if not 4, and potentially also my white hoodie. I'm really sorry about the noise, guys. I live in London. Yeah, I do feel like as these declutters go on, I'm definitely getting better at identifying what I do or don't genuinely need, right? Like, I do not need another black skirt, and that's a fact. I potentially could do, I don't need another satin skirt. I've got 4 of those. Oh my god, is this hanger just, this coat hanger has just broken. What? For God's sake, not the £50 coat hangers. Yeah, anyway, basically what I'm saying is doing the declutters has had a really interesting effect where, because there's less stuff, it has made me more aware of what I do have, and therefore I'm finding that I'm less likely to impulse buy or buy things that are very similar to things I already have, because I can actually see what I have, and I know, like when I open the wardrobe I see what's in there, so they're more at like the forefront of my mind. And then when I'm out having a little mooch around the shops, or if I am looking for something to fill like a genuine gap, for example, I've got a couple of weddings to go to this summer and I've never been to a wedding as an adult before, so I need to try and figure out some dresses to wear to those, and I know that that's something that I genuinely do not currently have. But knowing what I do have in my wardrobe I think will be really helpful when it comes to choosing that, because that means I can choose something that is actually very different from the other stuff I've already got. So yeah, getting rid of stuff hasn't made me want to buy more. If anything, it has made me want to buy less, which is fantastic and is exactly what I wanted to happen, but it's not necessarily what I thought would happen. Another like byproduct of being able to see exactly what's in my wardrobe and stuff is that when I have already decluttered somewhere, I'm finding it a lot easier to look back on that spot like 2, 3, 4 months later and identify what I have and haven't worn in that time, and it's making it far easier to stay on top of things and do like mini declutters here and there, or massive ones. Like my t-shirts, I realised I hadn't been anywhere near brutal enough, so last week I got Jess to come around and help me, and we literally halved my t-shirt collection. Like, it was impressive. I haven't posted it yet, I need to edit it still, but it was, you know, we did very, very well. But I think that's because I'd already gotten rid of the obvious ones to get rid of, and then this time I was able to kind of look at what was left a few months on and be like, what of these have I actually worn, and what have I put on several times and then gone, oh, this isn't quite right. So actually at the end of a declutter I always look at the stuff and go, God, there's no way I'd ever get it down any less than this, and then within a few months I'm going, ah, actually that can go, that can go. So I think I will almost definitely do that with the skirts and shorts, to be honest, but getting it down from 45 to 27 felt like a very big achievement in itself. I'm thinking once the declutters are over, well, I need to think of like a new series for TikTok. I definitely want to like deep clean things, and so I might do a new wheel, but also I'm thinking of doing a video on here of like everything I learned from decluttering my whole flat, and like the questions to ask yourself when you're decluttering, or different methods for decluttering. Like maybe I'll do a bit of a series of videos, because I really do feel like I've put myself through the paces. Like, this has been nearly a year-long project and I have actually learned quite a lot, I think. So yeah, if you guys like the sound of that, let me know, and if there's anything particular that you would want me to cover in that, tell me that too. So I might start thinking about that. There's still like, I think 18 things on the wheel, and actually, like I said in this video, I think I did add a couple more bits onto the wheel this week because I realised that there were areas that haven't been done. So the wheel definitely isn't finished, but I would really, really like to finish it before I go away. It's like a bit of a deadline. I always work best with deadlines, and I don't want it to go on for a whole year. It has been actually really like emotionally challenging, as weird as that sounds. When you are somebody who keeps hold of a lot of things because you feel guilt around letting them go, it's a lot more emotional than just, do I need this, yes or no? And I think that is why so many people do end up with such an extreme amount of clutter, because items hold memories, but actually those items don't hold those memories, you do. And you can take photos of them, or even just store them in places where they're not going to be in your way, if you know, are fortunate enough to have the storage space to do that. Living in a London flat, I don't really have access to that, but I know that I would do a bit more of that if I lived in like a house with a loft, for example. But at the same time, if those things are in the loft, what's the point? You know, really you're just holding on to things. And it's, have you heard of that? Is it Swedish death cleaning or something? There's a cleaning, like decluttering method from, I swear it's Sweden, I could be wrong, but they call it death cleaning. And it's basically thinking about, it's very morbid by the way, it's thinking about like if you were to die tomorrow and your like loved ones needed to clear out your stuff, what is the mess that you would want to leave them with? Like how much of the stuff would you actually want them to have to sift through and figure out what to do with? And for me, I know the answer is like as little as possible, without, you know, living with like paranoia and feeling like I was constantly not holding on to anything in case I died. Like you know, there are extremes to this, but like if I died tomorrow, and obviously fingers crossed I don't, but somebody that I love had to go through and sort through this wardrobe, I know that 27 skirts with nothing underneath them would be far less overwhelming for them than 45 skirts which were like sort of cramped because the pile of crap underneath them was so tall. But also the declutters have brought me a lot more productivity in my everyday life. I am somebody who really procrastinates when there are like barriers to success for me. So for example, my underwear drawer was really difficult to get in and out of. It was very disorganized and it felt like I was gonna have to wrestle with the drawer every time I had to open it. And I know that that in itself subconsciously was stopping me from getting up and getting in the shower like early in the mornings, because I was going, oh my god, it's just so much effort, which is ridiculous. Whereas now my underwear drawer could not be quicker, more convenient to use, and I've found that I don't procrastinate getting up anywhere near as much. Isn't that wild? Like, you don't think things like that will have that much of an effect, but they really can. They definitely do for me. I know that one of my biggest barriers at the moment is actually my socks, my sock drawer. I can never find a pair of socks, and I don't know why, because I have so many socks, but the washing machine just eats them and my sock drawer is a mess. And I know that as soon as I do that one, as soon as it comes up on the wheel, it'll be so much better. But because it hasn't come up on the wheel yet, I don't want to touch it because it makes it so much more satisfying in terms of like the content to be able to see it in a mess and then to be able to fix it than to see it in like semi-fixed state and then fully fixed state. But I really hope it comes up soon. Well, it will come up before I go away, so within the next few weeks, because I think that will actually make a huge difference to my life, which is crazy. But yeah, here are all my skirts. I'm probably going to sort them out into like skirts and shorts and like maybe colour coordinate them. My god, I feel so much better about that now. But one thing I don't feel great about is the state of my office. It honestly just feels like all you do as a grown-up is pick things up and move them, and then like move some pixels around on the screen, and that's just life really, isn't it? But basically this is the pile of stuff that is currently on Vinted, but I messed the pile up yesterday when I was getting all the stuff out, so I'm going to refold it. I'm going to sort out this. Some of it needs to go back in my room. There's like laundry in here from when we had the error in here and stuff, so like that needs to go in my room. Some of Charlie's stuff's in here, and then the desk is just a whole other issue. Why does it look like that? Why does it look like that? Your guess is as good as mine. Anyway, let's do a speed clean. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Can't twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. Sorry, my camera died, so you didn't get to see the speed clean because I didn't realise the camera died. But this side of the room is looking so much better. This side will sort of ignore that. That's a problem for next week because we're going now. But this is the reality of Vinted. This is stuff that is stuff that's currently on my Vinted but hasn't been sold yet. That's stuff that needs to go on Vinted, and that is a bag full of coat hangers, because in the skirts declutter I basically said that if anyone wants those coat hangers to let me know, and I'll put like a bundle on Vinted for £1 or something, because it seems so wasteful to throw them away. They're all just like ones that you get out of a shop. I am very aware of how expensive coat hangers are because I've just spent 50 quid on some. So yeah, if there is literally any interest in those whatsoever, I will just put them on Vinted for someone to have and basically just pay postage. The state of my desk is a problem for future Amy. This drive feels very long today. I've got a question for you. Yeah. This is a question that I've seen on TikTok that I've been thinking about recently. If you had, like, the ability to have a different liquid come out of each finger, so you get 5, or should you get 10? I don't know, let's do 5. What liquids would you have?
So is it on, yeah, so
one liquid per finger.
On both hands?
Just one hand. Oh, maybe both. Let's do both hands.
Oh no.
Just one hand?
Yeah, I think we should just do one hand.
One hand.
Because I'm a creature of habit of what I drink. So, I think the first one is obvious. Well, for me and Amy. First one would be sparkling water at my thumb.
That's not obvious for me.
Well, the amount of sparkling water that I drink.
Oh, I thought you meant like obvious because I drink it.
No,
I don't drink sparkling water.
What I'm saying is that
I do with squash.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so sparkling water.
Disgusting stuff.
Lucozade Original.
So niche.
Caramel Frappuccino.
These are so random.
To be fair, I think one of them just has to be plain water.
Yeah.
Because, you know. And then this one would be, thing is, I like Diet Coke, but do you know what? I'm going to say this one's Lilt.
So you would have sparkling water, still water, Lucozade, Lilt, and what?
Caramel Frappuccino.
I would have petrol.
No.
Yeah?
No, it has to be consumable liquid.
No, it doesn't.
No, you can't. No.
I'd have petrol.
Okay, fine, then I have battery acid.
Why would you have battery acid? When have you ever needed battery acid?
To put it in car batteries and...
I've never needed battery acid. I always need petrol.
Okay.
I would have petrol.
Oil.
Nah, boring.
Olive oil.
Actually, olive oil would be a pretty good one for cooking. Wait, should we do one hand for drinkable liquids and then the other hand for other liquids? So you've had your drinkable liquids hand. My drinkable liquids hand, I would have still water, summer fruit squash, peach squash.
Peach squash?
I love peach squash.
Peach Fanta?
Or orange and mango.
Peach Fanta from
Squash.
Odeon?
I do love peach Fanta. But I don't think it would be like, I would probably eventually get tired of it. Soya milk, I just feel like that would be handy. Not to drink on its own, but like to put in things. Oh, Noop's hot chocolate.
What percentage though?
What's the percentage that I like? 27%? Is that right?
No, yours is way higher than mine normally.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it 37%?
Something like that, yeah.
Then what would be your non-drinkable hand? Wait, I'll do mine. Petrol, ketchup, Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, some sort of cooking oil would probably be quite handy.
Not that you ever do any cooking.
That's rude, I do sometimes.
Amy has a habit of, when it gets around to dinner, she goes a bit quiet and she goes, "What do you want for dinner?" And then she goes, "Well, I'm just finishing off like a few bits." And
yeah, but I'd be happy to cook once I'm done. But the difference is you have a job that finishes at 5:30. I don't. My job finishes when I'm done with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But if you'd be happy to wait, but when I am by myself, I have dinner at like 7, 8 p.m. You're hungry by 5:45.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, what would my last liquid be? Oh, heat protection spray for my hair. That'd be really handy. What would your 5 non-drinkable liquids be?
Mayo.
That makes me feel weird.
Well, you just said ketchup.
I know, but mayo needs to be kept in the fridge.
Well, a lot of these drinks need to be kept in the fridge, like soy milk.
True, you've got frappuccino. Yeah, okay, carry on.
Okay, so mayo.
Yeah.
I think English mustard.
Ugh.
Because it's banging with most things. Sriracha.
Oh, that's a good one. So you'd just go for all condiments.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
I need to have petrol on this one.
Why?
Because it can't be near the condiments.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
So petrol on this one. So I literally just go put my finger in the petrol thing and go. And then this one, extra virgin olive oil.
That's a good one. Oh wait, I want to change one of my drinkable liquids.
No.
Really? Can I not change it?
You can't do it.
Well, if I could, I would change it to the Kim Kardashian Alani energy drink because that stuff.
I'm sorry. Those energy drinks suck.
No, the Kim Kardashian one.
I had a taste of it and they suck.
It's fantastic and it genuinely gives me energy like nothing else I've ever experienced. I would trust Kim Kardashian with my life.
You would trust Kim Kardashian with your life?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I just wanted to jump in and say a really quick thank you for 1,000 subscribers. It's been a big goal of mine for ages and I'm very excited to have done it. So if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe and stick around. Thank you very much for watching to the end of the vlog. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and leave me a comment letting me know what you've been up to this week and also let me know what your liquids would be. Thank you very much. Hope you have a lovely week. See you soon.